A little gift from me to you as we come into this festive period is my 8-step overwhelm to okay again guide. Because let's face it, we can't go from feeling completely overwhelmed to, hey, everything's okay. So let's be realistic. So the first thing is I want you to visualize a stop sign or a hand or a stamp of the foot, something that's going to make you just stop in your tracks. The next thing to that is I'm going to invite you to just take a breath. 3 deep breaths. The next step in that moment is to identify the thought that you are having. Now that thought when you're in overwhelm could be, oh, I just can't do this. This is all too much for me. I'm not doing a good enough job. I'm never going to meet that deadline. Okay, so you've identified that thought. And remember, we have 60,000 thoughts a day. So we can't be in charge of all of those thoughts at a time. By stopping and breathing, we're actually noticing 5% of our thoughts we notice every day. So there's a lot of thoughts going on subconsciously. So identify that thought. Get deliberate with it. The next thing is to challenge that thought. Have a debate with it. Well, I'm not coping. This is all too much. I'm not reaching the deadline. Hang on a minute. How many times have you reached a deadline? How many times have you done an amazing job and coped really, really well? So just have a little tweak around with that original thought and see if you can start to challenge and see where there's evidence to prove that actually you are doing a good job. The next thing is to tweak that thought. So change it into something more useful. Something that's going to get you from A to B and get you that job done or get you that client or whatever it is that you're aiming to do, or turn up for that Christmas social function and actually let your hair down and enjoy yourself. What could it be? So change it to, well, actually in this moment, life's a bit hectic. There's a lot going on, but I'm doing the best that I can and I'm doing a pretty good job. So the next thing to do is get rid of that original thought. It's not serving you. It's not useful at all. All it's doing is bringing more stress, more anxiety, and making you feel like you're not good enough. We don't want that. The next thing to do is put your hand maybe just on your stomach or your heart or wherever on your lap and just ask yourself, what do I need right now in this moment? What would be really good for me? And show yourself a little bit of compassion and kindness. It can go a long way. And then once you've really got into that new thought, that more helpful and realistic thought about what's really going on, I want you to take that lovely deep breath again and just really embed that new thought. And notice in your body how you're feeling. Just notice how you are now from the beginning of feeling really overwhelmed to now having a realistic, logical and useful thought. And then the last thing I want you to do is smile. Because we can trick the brain into thinking we're okay. We're using muscles in our face, we're releasing serotonin and oxytocin, which is the love hormone. Our brain now thinks that we're okay again. So I hope you enjoy that from me to you. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you have resonated with some of the tips, tools and strategies that I've shared with you. While you're here, I invite you to take a look at the other valuable insights on Cognito by Moore Barlow.